So when you're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, you're overcommitted, or you're in chronic burnout, your brain is focused on survival, not subtle perception. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Glow Up Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Megan Winkler, and today we're going to be talking about something that makes your glow up feel real, something that helps you embody your favorite self. I always hesitate to say best self or higher self, maybe favorite self, like the person you want to be in the world. And it feels deeply personal too. And that is your intuition. So today's topic is 3 ways to jumpstart your intuition and glow up from the inside out. The previous several episodes have been talking about dealing with holiday burnout. We've been talking a lot about being in the darker season and all that. We are post-Yule and we are in the quiet part of the year. And in fact, this is the last episode of 2025 because I am taking a week off for next week and I'll be back with new episodes in January. But right now is a time for intuitive listening, intuitive knowing, intuitive touching base moments. Your intuition is not some mystical lightning bolt version of like psychic knowing, like Instagram or TikTok might tell you. It's actually a quiet, grounded inner knowing. And I say knowing because the word knowledge feels a little too much like it's in our head. It's just this knowing that makes you feel clearer and makes your decisions feel lighter. So if you've been feeling disconnected from yourself, if you're really wanting to take this season and dive into your intuition and really ground yourself in that inner knowing, or if you've just kind of felt fuzzy, distant, and you want to come back to yourself, like kind of like get off being online and come back to yourself. That's completely normal. You're not out of alignment. You're not doing anything wrong. It has been a crazy year. It has been a super busy season. And you might be a little burned out and probably more than a little overstimulated, and that's okay. So when you're burned out or overstimulated or really tired, your intuition, it can't be heard because your intuition is a quiet, subtle thing. It cannot shout over you being in survival mode. It can't shout over that fight, flight, or fight part of your brain. So we're going to keep things really simple today to help you get back to your intuition and to kind of jumpstart it a little bit so that you're bringing energy back into it. None of this is difficult. It does, however, require a little bit of focus. So when you have the time, I invite you to come back to this episode and try one of these techniques and see how it works for you. So before I begin, I'm going to go through 3 tips. They are zero pressure ways to jumpstart your intuition, right? So when you jumpstart a car, you're like hooking it up to another battery, right? You're hooking it up to a car battery that is already, doing its thing, and a car engine that's already doing its thing to send energy to an engine that won't start. So this is hopefully going to help that. So let me be your battery. Let me be the running engine that helps you jumpstart your intuition today. Okay. So let's look for just a second at why your intuition gets quiet. So before we dive in, I know I said that a minute ago, but before we dive in, your intuition is a function of your nervous system. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of neurons. A neuron is a brain cell actually in your gut. They travel down your central nervous system. Your vagus nerve is involved in all of this, and it's the head and the gut. So when you're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, you're overcommitted, or you're in chronic burnout, Your brain is focused on survival, not subtle perception. So it's looking for lions. It's not looking for little tiny things in the environment. So your intuition is dimmed. It's not because you're out of tune spiritually or that there's anything wrong with you. It's just that your body is looking for safety first. Okay. So number one is the 60-second drop in. 60-second, just 1 minute. This is the simplest and fastest way that you can reconnect with yourself, and you can really do it anywhere. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your hand on your chest or your belly. And as long as you're not driving, you can do both. Be safe. Place a hand on your chest or your belly or both, and take one slow breath in and ask, what do I need right now? And just listen. Don't force an answer. Don't think about it too much. Just notice the very first thing that comes to mind. If I ask myself, what do I need right now? The first word that comes to mind is water, which I have my water bottle right here, which is good. But what do I need right now? Maybe it is water. Maybe you need a break from all the noise. Maybe you need to stop saying yes to something that's draining you. Maybe you just need to be honest with yourself or with somebody else, which is not always easy. But what this practice does is it helps to kind of jumpstart your intuition by reconnecting you with your body. And that's where your intuitive signals actually lie. So when you check in with yourself, and you start making decisions that provide for your emotional and energetic safety, and you're making decisions that actually nourish you, it's in that moment that you experience a little glow up. And the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. So the second one is follow the micro yes. So a lot of times we expect these big yeses like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yes, I have to do that. And that does happen. And it's amazing when it does. However, our intuition speaks through nudges long before it speaks through clarity. So you're going to get these little micro yes moments whenever there's a spark to your curiosity, or if you're feeling a pull to something. And it might sound something like, oh, I should wear red today. Okay, not sure why, but I should wear red today. Pull that book off the shelf. I forgot I had that book. That's kind of interesting. All right. Take a different route home. I get that one a lot. And you never know why. Message that friend. These tiny intuitive whispers may not seem important in the grand scheme of things until you start following them consistently. So over the years, anytime I get that nudge of take a different route home, I do. I don't know what I'm missing or avoiding by doing that. I do know that by taking a different route home, I get home safe. I do know in those times when I message a friend who pops into my mind, they're like, oh, I haven't heard from you in so long, or they really needed to talk about something. And anytime you honor a micro yes, you're telling your nervous system and your energetic body that it's safe to trust yourself. And as you trust yourself more and more, you're able to rely more and more on that inner guidance, that inner wisdom. Because, my friend, when you're in a glow up, it doesn't start with big transformations. It is these small, little aligned choices, and they ripple out into every other part of your life. And number 3 is to listen to your body's yes or no. Your intuition doesn't speak through thoughts or signs as much as it speaks through sensation. So even if you think, take a different route home, there's like something that happened in your energetic body to pick up on something in the environment. So one of the things that you can do is what I kind of call it a human pendulum, but really it's a sway test. And so what I want you to do is you kind of tune into your body, stand up, and ask yourself a yes or no question that you already know the answer to. So if I were going to do it and make sure my body's tuned in, I'd say like, is my name Megan? And if That is true because it is true. I will sway forward as a yes. And if I say my name is my name Judy? I'm going to go backwards because no, of course not. And then I can do stuff like, is it a cloudy sky today? Yes. Is it a blue sky today? No. So you're going to sway forward for the yes, sway backward for the no. Obviously, do this in a safe space, private space, all of that. And just notice how that feels. And you can ask yourself, like, do I want tea? Yes or no? And it's so funny, like my body, I felt like a little like pull forward. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get some tea after this. Does my body need water? Yes or no? Do I need to take a nap? Yes or no? And bigger decisions, and I'm not saying base your whole large decision on whether you sway forward or backwards, but I am saying that this can give you a little clarity. So bigger decisions like, do I take this job opportunity? Do I set this boundary? Do I continue this relationship? And get super specific. So it's like, do I take this new job with such and such company? Do I set the boundary of no work after 6 p.m.? Get super specific, and then forward or backward, that is your intuitive, energetic answer. And then obviously, like, take steps forward in a way that you are provided for, that you're safe, but can move forward with what you intuitively know is your body's answer. A person who trusts their body wisdom walks through life clearer and braver and more magnetically aligned. And that's glow up energy in its purest form, my friend. So to kind of bring it all together, your intuition doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be spiritual or calm. It doesn't need like a big ritual, anything like that. It needs just a moment of your presence. It needs a tiny yes from you and a sensation of truth. Because your intuition is always with you. You just may not be able to hear it. And your glow up is not about creating a new version of yourself. It is actually about returning to the self who has always been there, who has always been inside. So when you are reconnecting with your intuition, you are reconnecting with your personal power. And what flows from that is clarity, direction, and inner glow. And everything gets simpler. I won't say it gets easier, but I will say it gets simpler. You'll be able to trust your choices and your decisions are the right ones for you. So I encourage you to try one of these practices today, just one, and just see how your energy shifts. If this episode has resonated with you, please share it with your friends or family, anyone that you might think would enjoy it and wants to get more into their intuition. Thank you so much for an amazing year. I know that I did not start this podcast at the beginning of the year, but it's been a really great set of episodes, if I do say so myself. And that's possible because you're here. And I'm just really grateful for your presence and for you listening every week and for supporting me on social media and on Patreon. And to my paid Patreon folks, y'all are amazing. And you help me keep this podcast going and growing and ad-free. So if you're listening on a platform and there are ads somewhere, those are not from me. That's the platform making money. So I just really appreciate your support. If you want to be a member of Patreon, you can come and hang out for free. And monthly memberships are as low as $3 a month. It just really helps support this work. So that's actually the Glow Up Circle on Patreon. Or you can find me on Instagram at It's Megan Winkler. And if you have any questions, comments, or recommendations for the podcast or topics, shoot me an email. It's hello@meganwinkler.com. And of course, you can find me on YouTube as well at It's Megan Winkler. I've aligned that with my Instagram to keep things all kinds of easy breezy. And thank you again for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, sharing, all of that, and helping to spread the word of the Glow Up Revolution and what we're doing here. I'm excited for 2026. I hope you have a lovely rest of your year, a happy new year, and I will be back in your ear holes that first week of January. Thanks again for listening, and I will chat with you next time. Until then, as always, stay magical.